What up, though, and welcome to another episode, man. Hey, we got a good show for y'all today. And if you know, like I know, every show is a great episode.
That's for sure.
So, I got Brian here today. He came back for more of me and Jeff shenanigans.
Yeah, I'm back in the building, ready for another good show.
He back for the shenanigans because, Jeff don't know how to act right, and me, I ain't got no sense. Jeff, what up, though?
What's good, bro?
Man, I'm feeling it today.
You feeling it?
I had a long week. I had a long look. We had a long week, so we had a little drink out here and stuff like that. So don't be alarmed, but we're gonna have some real conversation. Men conversation. Stuff that we need to be talking about.
That's a fact.
That's for sure.
So guys, before we jump into these questions, I gotta ask what y'all opinion is. Now y'all know that Trump had bombed the nuclear sites in Iran.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Now, I don't really want to talk about the actual bombing, but what I do want to talk about that this may initiate World War III, and some of our fellow, friends and family may be getting shipped off to the war if they institute the draft. It's not to say that they will, but since we talking about men's health, especially mental health, we know that the age range is 18 to 39 for those that's going to get shipped off into the draft. So, and that is a lot of our friends. That's our kids.
Nephews, cousins. Yeah.
That's everybody. So
Could be me.
Yeah.
Could
be me.
So it
definitely ain't gonna be you. Shut the hell up.
So I just want to kind of get y'all take on it from the bombing to if they initiate the draft. Like, what is y'all thoughts on that? Because the way I feel is I'm concerned because if they initiate the draft, I mean, they already got reserves. Y'all can take them.
Right.
Matter of fact, y'all got people in prison too. Y'all can take them. But I'm concerned because, my son is going to be 19 this year.
Tracks.
So that means that, he's not going to be able to escape the draft. And that caused concern for me.
That's crazy.
So you're going to be if they institute the draft, which it sounds like something Trump would do. How do y'all feel that, one of yours or somebody that you close that how does that affect you? And Brian, I know you said you in that group, so I'm gonna turn it over to you first to find out, like, how do you feel about that? Like, are you anxious? Are you hoping that it don't happen? Because I mean, we've been to war before,
right,
but not to this scale because I read articles that Europe may jump in because Trump kind of violated some rules and agreements,
policies, right,
about it. So that means that we may end up, going to war. And my concern is that if Europe gets into it and depending on who they back, then China get into it depending on who they back, and then Russia decide to get into.
What you mean who they back? China backing.
I mean they already created a brick system, and they isolated. They trying to isolate the dollar from being the world trade. So we already know that the United States is really on the wrong end
of everything.
Of everything.
Yeah.
So, Brian, I just want to kind of get your take on it. Like, what is your mindset when it comes to the bombings and
the draft?
Oh, from what I seen, man, it looked kind of crazy, man. I ain't gonna lie. When I figured out when I seen what the age range was, and I fell in between that, it was some concern there. Knowing Trump and what he done did so far, it really ain't no telling if he gonna call the draft. I remember signing them papers too when I was 18.
Yeah,
thinking I was never gonna, have to fulfill that obligation. But I think it's pretty crazy, bro. From the bombing pictures, videos that I've seen, it was pretty catastrophic. And then Trump went behind it and said, it's no other country that can do what we just did. We got the best tech, we got the best bombs, and he was pretty confident about it too. But it's really ain't no telling what the consequences really gonna be from that. Shoot, I know I'm 33, so I'm well within that range to go. So, and then I got a little cousin. He 21. He'll be right there with me, And shoot, me and him are the only sons of our dads. So I don't know how that works, but That's kind of crazy. What you think
now
about
that's a good question, because if y'all the only males,
Yeah.
Do they still get drafted?
I don't
They do?
know.
I think so.
I know
I think
back
it's
in the
kind
day,
of
it was different.
And then back in the day, it was different. But I think the president has the power to change that.
Yeah.
And I know there was rules back when, like,
that's crazy.
because
I'm
I'm
only
not
child.
Because since I'm not the only boy, and my brothers are actually younger, they may be signed up for the draft as well.
Mm-hmm.
And just to take it back, and Jeff, I know you remember, and Ryan, you remember when they went to war with Afghanistan.
Mm-hmm.
They were talking about it then.
Yep.
When they were talking about they may institute the
they
draft.
were. Right, yeah.
But good thing is that that Bush didn't do it during that time, especially when 9/11 happened. I really thought, I was like, oh, bro, like, and that happened when I was in high school, so that was crazy.
Yeah.
But then after that, as war went on, they were talking about, they may institute the draft and everything. And you may have to go, and I was like, "Dang!"
A lot of folks got deployed.
Yeah,
around that time.
Yeah.
So back then, when I found out that they made, when the rumors were going around, I was fearful. I didn't want to leave my son behind. I didn't want to leave my family behind. I didn't want to leave the things that I knew behind to go.
It's not even about that. I didn't want to go fight for a country that started something that I didn't believe in.
Bro, you don't know what you're getting yourself into
when
you get
exactly.
over there.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Now,
you don't know what you're stepping into.
It's like, it's almost like your cousin at a whole different school on the west side. You live on the east side. He come get you and say, these guys started a fight. And you go over there, you thinking it's one or two guys. It's 15 guys over there.
Yeah.
So ain't no telling what you about. So now, my whole thing about the draft is, look, if they do the draft, I hate to say this, but maybe it might be some good for these little YNs that's running around with guns, thinking the city is their war zone.
But they had to find them first.
I mean, it's not hard.
You got to.
It's not hard. They got birth certificates. It's not hard.
Yeah, but if they hiding out somewhere,
you think they gonna go to war, not trying to go to war?
I mean, you get to kill freely. Not kill freely, but
without the consequences.
Yeah, you don't have no consequences.
My thing is, stop tearing up your community and go over there. If you want to do something, go over there and kill them.
I think they should send prisoners over there.
I agree with you 100%. But my thing is this: it might change that YN mentality by going over there and doing it that way.
It's a possibility. Or they're gonna end up in jail if they try to avoid.
I rather them go over there or end up in jail than dead on the street again. Now, mothers are mourning more kids, just like the Southfield shooting just happened. They was all at the party. Why are you shooting? You know what I'm saying? Because somebody got too drunk.
They shot at the fireworks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's like you can't go nowhere without gunshots.
Right.
So if you that hard, or you need to carry a gun everywhere you go, or you need to shoot a gun everywhere you go, there you go. Go to the military and let it shoot all you want.
Now hold on. Producer put it up one more time. It says, in a draft scenario, if you have brothers that may or may not be drafted alongside you, depending on the specific rules of the draft and the circumstances of your family, generally there are provisions to protect families from having multiple close relatives drafted simultaneously, especially if there have been casualties within the immediate family in the military service. Yeah, nobody in my family.
I'm not sure how that would work for me, because my dad was a Marine and he's in prison, and I'm the only son. I don't know how that works.
I hope they look at it and be like, well, his father did serve, so, and he don't need a young man, so we'll just leave him. You know what I'm saying?
That's what I would hope.
But ain't no telling what these people.
I did think that if you were the only child, they wouldn't touch you.
Unless you enlisted.
Right.
Now, if you're the only child and it's a draft, I don't think they do touch you, because that's like taking the last of your bloodline. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Yeah.
So
but it's this. I feel like it's the same way with the man. Cause with the male, because I'm his only son, and like I got 5 little sisters, and I'm the oldest. You know what I'm saying? So
now that's a good.
And then he locked away, so it ain't like he can make some more.
Right,
he locked away for life,
right?
As of right now.
Yeah, so he can't come out and make no more kids.
And I don't have any kids right now.
So that would be something
saying?
To find out though. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's if this all pops off.
Right. It's a very specific situation.
Yeah. So the producer had put something up. It says being the only child does not automatically exempt someone from the draft.
Look.
Man, fuck. I mean,
that's crazy.
While there are exemptions for sole surviving sons in cases of previous military deaths, these are specific situations, not a general rule for all children. Man, that's interesting. That's crazy.
Interesting.
I think
that's
I might have some wiggle room, maybe, but you know.
I mean, you could always be like Muhammad Ali and just go to jail. Go to jail. I mean, how many times?
But I think he had been there a lot longer because he's not as popular as Muhammad Ali was. So I think he had been there a little longer. But
what's the jail sentence?
And
I
mean, but if you go to jail, you go to jail, you get a felony. Then when you come back, you still can't really
get a felony too.
That's a felony. Yeah.
So the producer put it up. Refusing to go to war, specifically refusing induction into the military after being drafted, can result in a prison sentence of up to 5 years and a fine of $250,000.
Prison.
So you go to jail and $250,000. How am I pay $250,000? I've been in jail 5 years,
bro. You better off going.
Yeah, you better off going.
Just go.
That's crazy.
I mean, if you think about it, okay, so if you look at the pros and cons of it, right?
There's no you can't even.
Get paid.
If you go to war, you get a job, you get paid.
Now my thing is,
you don't get paid per kill, but you get paid.
You're in a place you don't want to be. So how accurate are you really going to be, or how productive are you really going to be? When you got this other country, people running up to the door, signing up to be in the military.
Well, you can always tell them like, hey, I'm a great cook. I can cook, but I can't go.
They're gonna give you an AR-15 and say, okay, go shoot this. My thing is this: we have the best technology, we have the best army, we spend the most money, huh? Well, as far as army wise, I think we do.
We spend a lot of money in defense.
A lot of money.
We spend a lot of money in defense.
I'm talking about military wise. I'm not talking about just out here.
Okay.
So why do we have all that?
Mm-hmm.
Because we don't have people that, well, we do. We don't have as many people that will fight for their country with their heart like these other places do. These other places,
they would die.
They would die for their country. Like, what? Yeah. Y'all coming over here? Oh, they coming over here? Hey, y'all get in the basement. Come on, let's go in the basement. That's what I'm doing. You know what I'm saying? I'm not running outside tomorrow. Something. Yeah, American. Now, don't get me wrong. I love America. I love what they did for me.
Mm.
But at the same time, I kind of hate what they did for me at the same time.
So you like the systematic oppression?
That's why I just said I hate
the racial divide.
You don't like that
but
part.
That's why I just said I hate what they did to me at the same time. You know what I'm saying?
The racist feed that you continuously see over and over and over again.
That's why I say I love what they did for me, but I hate what they did to me at the same time. But once again, just remember, when the slaves were slaves, they sent them over to war too. Mm-hmm. And when the ones that did come back, guess what they did? They still went back to slavery. So they fought for their country and then went back into slavery.
Mm.
So I mean,
that's cold right there.
You could send me over there. I'm acting like the biggest coward as ever. You know what I'm saying?
I don't know if y'all have seen the videos where they show where Iran had attacked.
Yeah, I seen
the
that
military base, and then their defenses had blew all the missiles
up. Mm-hmm. I seen
that. And it's like, okay, that's phenomenal because Israel and Iran don't have that, so they just bombing back and forth. Mm-hmm. But then they try to bomb the U.S. military base, and they're like, oh yeah, we got these defenses, man. That's a cakewalk, bro.
But see, my thing about that is, was that a show from who shot the missiles?
Iran shot the missiles.
Okay. Was it a show from Iran to say, okay, we're gonna shoot these missiles, or was it a message to the sleepers? See what I'm saying?
Yeah, because they did say they got sleeper agents, you know,
in America. So which
is not uncommon. Like,
no, it's not. I think every country got sleepers in America. So my thing is, was that missiles to say, hey, we go try to mess something up, or was that missiles to say, okay, y'all activate it, do what y'all got to do?
It's a possibility. I mean, but they could send a different signal like that.
They could, but at the same time, what's a better signal than they go? No, they know they're going to broadcast these missiles shooting over here.
That's true.
Like it's a threat.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying.
That's true.
If y'all see the missiles, y'all know what to do. Okay, and they sitting there watching the news. They go to missiles. Now you got ain't no telling how many people activated to do what they got to do.
Yeah, that's a concern.
Yeah,
and then there's no telling where they're going to attack at, because they probably could be in the upper ranks or in the ranks of the military. They could be in the ranks of IT, where they can cripple America through cyber attack or anything. So that's definitely a big concern right now.
We gotta look out for all that right now.
But what can we really do if it happened? What can we really do besides sit in our house and just sit there and look at each other like, damn, this could be it? You know what I'm saying? All because this man woke up and was like, yeah, I'm gonna shoot some bombs. Yeah, don't worry about it. That's crazy.
And he didn't get congressional approval.
I know. That's what I said. That's what I said. He just woke up and was like, I'm gonna shoot some bombs.
So now my thing is it's the first president that went against a congressional approval to do that. What is the government? What is Congress going to do?
Nothing, because they have everything. They have the Senate. They have everything. There's nothing. Nothing's going to happen to him.
Do they have what power do they have to do?
They can
impeach him.
That's the biggest thing. The biggest thing is impeachment. Filing articles of impeachment, but the Republicans aren't going to file articles of impeachment against Trump for some odd reason.
Democrats gonna try.
Well, Democrats, they're saying that they're supposed to get the House and the Senate back in the next election. But think about how long.
What the hell gonna happen now, though?
But we had to wait for that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's too long.
I don't know if their election is this year or next year, but we have to wait for that, because they believe that most of America, because his numbers are so bad, that they're gonna vote Democrat. But my thing is I think the whole Democrat and Republican Party, I really think we need a third bigger party that we can go ahead and vote for, and not just keep continually vote Democrat and Republican. I mean, I'm not saying that the other parties are better, but we need a third bigger party, because if these are the only two options that we have to vote for, honestly, I don't think either one is in our favor. They do things in society to waver.
They don't do things, they say things.
No, because if you look at the New Deal, because remember, Black people was voting Republican before the New Deal, and then they start voting Democrat.
I'm gonna drink for that. You know what I'm saying?
Why do you want to drink? So when all that happened, I think don't correct me if I'm wrong. I believe it was the New Deal when they switched over, started voting Democrat. And then because I remember talking to one of the elders about it, and that's what they were saying. It was like, Black people used to vote Republican a lot. And then when they had came out with, I think it was either the New Deal or it was something. I think it was something that Teddy Roosevelt had did, and then it switched over, and then they started voting Democrat.
No,
y'all correct me if I'm wrong. Y'all can throw it in the comments. Y'all correct me if I'm wrong.
No, I don't even care for real no more. I mean, because it ain't helping us no way, no how. You know what I'm saying?
and the tides keep changing. So it's like now you have more people voting Republican because they have this straight shooter. But this straight shooter,
who's a straight shooter?
Trump.
No, Trump.
He is not a straight shooter. He's a dummy. He's not. It's a difference. It's a difference between a straight shooter and a dummy.
True.
When I say straight shooter, he told these people what he was going to do. He used and manipulated the same people that he deported and had them on stage singing for him, you know, praising him and everything.
So that's not a straight shooter. That's just he played his hand. He played the hand he was dealt. And I cannot blame him for having everybody jump on his bandwagon like, oh yeah, Trump's gonna do this. And he flip it on them.
Yeah.
Because if you look at it, when you vote Democrat, we get a Democrat president, you be like, oh, he go do this, he go do that. He get in there. The first thing he got to do is fix the first mess that the other president had to do. You know what I'm saying? What didn't do.
And that's why he did it at his inauguration. He had that desk right there and just start signing.
But the crazy part about it, the stuff he was signing, I don't think it was really president stuff. His like secretary could have signed that stuff.
It was like little small stuff.
Yeah, it was little. And then you got the little badass kid standing next to you telling you ain't shit.
Oh yeah, he lying, son.
Yeah. So I'm like, my thing is this: all politics, everybody lies. Yeah, 100%.
Facts.
They're going to tell you what you want to know, or what you want to hear to get into office. And they're going to continue to tell you what you want to hear to stay in office.
Right.
Now, if they do it, they probably do 10% of what they saying.
I agree.
And then all the other rest of it is bullshit.
See, my thing is, if we do have a third party that you say want to combat against the Democrat and Republican, right? How is that party going to get funded to compete against both of those? Because you see right now they get funded millions on both sides, and then to lie for certain prerogatives and everything is like, how can you even compete with that? Even though you're gonna have the people, but how you gonna even if you
gotta have funds?
Yeah, even if you do get the people together, how you gonna have the funds to compete?
You can get a bunch of broke people together, but they ain't making no noise without no money.
Well, I look at it like this: it takes American people to revolt. So if they like somebody in the Green Party, then they should all vote a person in from the Green Party, which would be one of the first things that ever happened in history. But if you vote somebody in from the Green Party, no, they don't have a lot of pockets and they probably won't have the influence, but at least you will have something different in office.
I understand what you're saying, but
because it's funny how in the beginning, you have all these people from all these different prospective parties up there, but then once we get down to the presidential run and debate, you still only have
them two,
Democrat and Republican. Like it's not like the third party is not even there no more. It's like
it almost don't matter.
Yeah, it's almost like it's structured to be that way. It's like,
or they get so far and then drop out.
They get so far and then drop out. And you're absolutely right. It does come down to money. So. But we already know that these potential candidates for president have ties to these different corporations that's funding them. And it's like, well, if you get in office and you can do this for me, then we'll back you. We'll donate this kind of money to you. But the Green Party, their mindset is not like that. They don't want to destroy America with chemicals and pipelines that go through neighborhoods.
But sometimes you have to dance with the devil to get above, to get ahead. And that's the crazy part. You got to slow dance with the devil a little bit. I mean, you don't have to completely spend the whole night with him, but you got to dance with the devil sometimes to get your foot in the door.
You got to spend a night with the devil.
Yeah. Well, no, you ain't got to spend a night with him.
I mean,
you at least get in the, to get your foot in the door. You got to at least go out with him.
I mean, getting your foot in the door is like
a lot of money.
No, like getting your foot in the door is like.
What if it's a person that already got money?
He ain't got that much money.
Nah, they part of the Green Party. They ain't got that
much money.
No. I'm just saying, like, say if he's not a part of the Green Party, he started his own party or whatever. It should be the Brown Party.
You gotta have some bread for that, though.
It should be called the Brown Party because the majority of the people on Earth are brown. So I feel like
because if you look at it, the Republicans, they spend that bread, bro. They spend that bread.
Yeah, and not only do they got the money, but they got the power and the influence.
Yeah, and
so.
they all the corporations is basically Republicans.
Let's put an idea.
They all tied in.
Yeah,
let's put an idea out there. What if every governor, mayor, every Senate, every Republican across the nation was all Democrat. Like what would that cause if every last one
I think it'd be
just
worse.
every level?
I think it'd be worse than it is now. But I'm gonna tell you why.
Okay.
Because when you have a party or one person with so much power, they get cocky. You know what I'm saying? Okay. And if you don't have to answer to nobody, even if you have to answer to somebody, but you know they're in your pocket,
yeah,
you do what you want to do, no matter what the little people say, because at this point, they can't touch me. I'm making 10 figures. Mm-hmm. I'm doing what I want to do. Mm-hmm. I mean, I'm the boss. What can they say to me?
And that's exactly how you moving.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
So switching gears real quick, because I know that this whole situation is definitely traumatic amongst men, because we know that they're going to go, and we already know that Trump has outliered the transsexuals and everything. So, they can't even enroll for it and everything. So, and we know some people enroll just so they can have their transformation actually paid for by the government. Damn. before Trump, got involved.
Like what? That's crazy.
I didn't even know that was possible. But jumping into these questions, man. So my first question to you, gentlemen, is how does unspoken emotional trauma from childhood show up in a man's daily habits, health, and relationships?
Damn,
that's pretty big.
Yeah, that was off the top.
So I'll jump into this one. So what I'll say is that okay. So how does unspoken emotional trauma from childhood show up in a man's daily habits, health, or relationships? So for me, because and this is, and don't get me wrong, I love my mom, and my mom does. My mom has been impactful in my life. But I always have that fear of abandonment because my mom always worked. And, it's my grandma, my auntie there, but it's nothing like, your mom. You do have that village, but you still want, your mom there. So, I have that fear of abandonment at times, feeling like, somebody, if I let somebody get too close, they
might leave.
They gonna leave.
Yeah.
So my safety mechanism, my defense mechanism is always to just keep people at a distance.
I'm here with you all the way, bro. I'm here with you, man.
so if they decide to leave,
you okay with it?
I'm okay with it. Right. There's no pain in it because I didn't let you get that close in the first place.
Right. I feel that.
Yeah. It's the wrong way to live, my brother.
Yeah.
It's the wrong way to live. I really don't have childhood trauma because my parents were in a church. They were together until my old dude passed.
No, church is traumatic.
Rest in peace.
For sure, appreciate it. Church is not traumatic for me.
Church is very traumatic.
You an asshole. Trauma. I don't have childhood trauma.
Well, I had some childhood traumas, but not much. But because I was in church too. A lot, I had a stepdad, and he played guitar in the church all the time.
Okay,
you
dope.
Feel me? So he was like a maniac when it came to rehearsing and stuff because he wanted to be the best, And he was touring with Fred Hammond. He was
that's dope.
Very known throughout the gospel community. He passed away, rest in peace. But my dad was always like in and out of prison and stuff like that. So like me having my actual dad, that's where the trauma came from because, I was always trying to relate to a man that wasn't really my dad like that. You know what I'm saying? He's my sisters and them dad. So, good guy, I appreciate everything he did, but that's where the trauma came from. So, a lot of my personality growing up was kind of picked up from a lot of different places, whether it was from church or I got some from my mom or some from my uncle, but I ain't really had that fulfillment, from my dad right there.
Right.
So
Right.
let me drop this stat on y'all because I love statistics and
You sure
everything.
do. I don't know why.
So
But before you do that, the crazy part about it is, I'm not gonna say God. I'm not gonna say
you can say God.
nature. No, I'm because I don't know what a lot of people believe in. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Okay.
So I think everything happened for a reason. That man was put there for you. You know what I'm saying? To show you. I don't want to say to. I don't want it to sound like. I don't want it to sound crazy or nothing, but
you say,
to show you, hey, I'm gonna show you how to be a man. Since your father chose the other way to show you how to be a street guy.
No, for real.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, for real.
Because my stepfather stepped in for me too as well.
Yeah.
So my father, I don't know my real father.
Okay.
Never met him a day in my life. But my stepfather stepped in and was like, smile. You know what I'm saying? And the crazy, you know what I just found out? The crazy part about it is,
What was that?
my mother, wild shit, bro. Wow. Blew my mind when I found out. My mother named me after my real father. I'm named after my real father, but my stepfather took care of me from birth. Crazy, ain't it, bro? Like the audacity of you, woman. I was about to call her a hoe. That's my mother. I love you, Ma. I swear to God.
Oh my goodness.
But I couldn't do that. I couldn't raise a young man from birth, calling him the guy that dipped out on you.
Mm-hmm.
And I've been there since birth.
Take a strong man.
Man, what?
It does.
It take a strong man. For
It
sure.
does. So let me drop this stat on y'all. So over 60% of men have experienced at least one traumatic event in their life, yet never seek professional help. But then you also got to understand what a traumatic event is that happened in your life. It takes a kind of a self-awareness to know what's going on.
Mm-hmm. I mean,
I agree.
I think that out of that 60%, how many can really afford professional help? First of all,
that's true.
Now, is professional help the church? Or is that like is it a pastor?
It could be.
It could be. Well, I consider
you can't afford. You know,
I consider the church professional manipulators, but
he's atheist. You gotta.
I am not an atheist.
I'm just asking because all other counseling requires money.
Yes, exactly.
That's what I'm saying.
Exactly. But a lot of people don't. A lot of people is like him. They don't buy the whole church thing.
I mean, to me, you don't have to buy it, but it's positive, bro.
Facts, 100%.
It's gonna be positive. Look, you can take what you want to take from it.
There you go, right there.
You know what I'm saying? But it's gonna be positive, bro.
I'm gonna tell you like this here.
Depending on who you're dealing with. Not all churches, not all
I was just about to say that.
The same,
the atheist over there.
I am not an atheist.
No, I'm just asking.
My thing is this: if you seek help in the church and you think it's working or you feel that it's working, continue with it.
Well, it's only a few types of people in the church.
Oh, no, everybody in the church, bro. Everybody's in the church.
There's only a few people in the church.
I'm gonna say this.
I'm gonna say this. You talking about that's in the leadership, or you just talking about that's just going?
That's going like them pews is filled with some previous sinners.
Oh,
that's
the whole point.
That I'm not even gonna go. I'm gonna go to the next question.
That's the whole point.
Don't go to the next question.
I can't go to the next question.
No, because my thing is this.
So you want me to say what I want to say?
Huh?
You want me to say what I want to say?
Yeah.
I mean, why not? Don't hold your tongue now.
I'll never hold my tongue. Okay. So let's really talk about it.
Let's go.
Okay.
No, you good.
No, you good. Let's really talk about it. So people that's in the church. Mm-hmm. So people in the church is either those that have been born in the church and continuously go to the church that has been blinded.
Strong.
Then
can I finish? Can I finish? Okay, go ahead. Go ahead, bro.
There's those that have been broken in life that had no other resort, but they were trying to find some kind of comfort because they felt empty inside. So they decided, can I finish? They ran to the church. Then you had those people that have just been in and out of the church. Then you had those people that go to church just so they can pray and get blessed for whatever they're trying to achieve in life. And once they get that, they leave. So those people in the church that are there, bro, they're only there because they don't have any other power or belief in themselves to achieve. So they need something to rely on to get them to where they need to be at. And let me tell you why I say that. I'm gonna tell you why I say that.
Because you full of shit. Telling you why.
Tell me point out one millionaire that go to church.
1 millionaire?
What? 1 millionaire. Point out a millionaire or a billionaire. Go to no. Don't give me no excuse. Give me one millionaire and billionaire that go to church.
I don't personally know any billionaires or millionaires yet, but there's plenty.
But tell me this: out of all the celebrities that you know,
I can't give you something.
Have you seen them in church? Out of all the celebrities that you know, have you ever seen them in church? Have you ever seen them give? Have you ever seen them give anything to church?
Look,
they got all these foundations, but have they given to the church? They 10%, right? Hold on.
I got you. Watch it. Go ahead. I'm listening. Go ahead.
Jeff said he got it.
So
because they go on stage talk about some. Oh, I praise God and everything, okay, but you don't see them in the church.
Nope, you're absolutely correct. You're absolutely correct.
Okay.
Now name one billionaire that you know that been faithful to his wife all through their marriage.
Ain't no regular guy that's been faithful to their wife through their marriage. Huh? Ain't that many regular guys that been faithful to their wife.
That's not the question. That's not what I gave you.
Denzel.
I said name one billionaire. One rich guy.
Your homeboy LeBron James. But that's still questionable because there's information out there that say he cheated.
So you say it's questionable. So my thing is this.
Jay-Z, he cheated.
You can't go off
Bezos, he cheated.
You can't go off of everybody else's life. When you in the church,
ain't nobody going off anybody else's life.
You said all these people.
I
agree with you 100%. Some of the people in the church go to the church just for I need to repent, or I need to grab this so I fall out before I fall out. But it's a lot of good people in the church as well. It's a lot of real church people in the church. So you can't base the church off of
that realness is only for what you know and what they show you and tell you. You ain't with them 24/7. You don't know what they do in their past life. They could be strippers.
That's not that. They not strippers.
They could be drug dealers. They could be the biggest drug dealer in the street.
Perfect.
And in church every Sunday, dog.
Ain't nobody perfect. But the whole thing.
But you're not gonna sit church on top of a pedestal and say, "Oh yeah, church."
They're bringing you in to give you some hope. That's
hope
they're
for
doing.
What? You can have your own
hope for a better life. Hope for
some
a better
people just trying to find God, like for
that
real.
Too. But when but when you are an atheist as yourself, it's hard to bring around a person that really don't believe into nothing but grass and trees.
I'm gonna just say this real quick. I remember going back because I don't go to church right now, but I just remember back then it was certain feelings I would feel in church where I know that it was, I was for sure feeling something real.
Facts.
You know what I'm saying, on the inside. Your spirit will be,
let me explain that to you.
Yo.
Oh, here we go.
Let me
explain that to you.
It's an explanation for everything.
It is. You know what that is? That is congregating amongst people. That is congregating amongst people.
That's not congregating amongst people. It is congregating.
He just said in church he gets a feeling. He's congregated amongst people.
This is the thing, though, M&G. This is the thing. This is the thing, bro. Man. These are positive, generally positive people and doing positive things. You know what I'm saying? So that's what you want to
for the most part.
So this is what I mean by for men's mental health, right?
Okay.
You want to base yourself out of something that's good.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people
Facts.
don't, bro.
That's
you know
true.
what I'm saying? And that can be a positive thing for somebody.
And,
you know what I'm saying?
Regardless, bro.
It could be.
And not
saying it could be. You know?
And Brian, you absolutely right. But guess what? There are some people that get that same feeling when they go to a concert and listen to music.
That's not true. No, that's not true.
Think it's the same.
Have you talked to somebody about it?
Listen, bro, it's close.
Because ain't that like church?
It's close.
You go in there to praise and worship the person up in front of you.
It's close.
You're not worshiping the person in front of you.
No.
People do worship people in front of them on the stage.
About the celebrity. He talking
about
the celebrity.
So I thought you were talking about something else.
I ain't saying treat him as God, but it's praise and worship. So you said it's not praise and worship?
No, it's not praise and worship.
Do they not get their money? Do they not get their money over?
Yeah, it's similar.
For the tickets?
For the tickets. They get their money over the tickets. They go and congregate in this place and they listen to music.
This is what I mean when I say
there are comparisons though.
Only comparison is when if you're at a concert and you're screaming and yelling, that's not the same comparison as being in church and really being anointed by the Lord. That's two totally different feelings.
But don't they do music?
Look.
You have to give it a chance though.
I am not going to say I know the church stuff. I'm not going to say that. I never had a feeling in church, but I'm ready to go. I promise you that. But I've known people. I got a best friend that's in the church right now, and I guarantee you, if I call him right now and be like, "Yo, I'm going through this," he would kick it with me like a guy off the in the hood, and then turn around and pray with me.
That's real.
I'm not saying he go cuss and be like, "Let's go get something to drink." He'll say, "Let's meet up for lunch," and we'll kick it, and then he'll pray.
Okay. I can get that from a mentor. I can get that from a coach.
You can't get that from a mentor.
Bro, I can't get that from a mentor or a coach.
If the mentor messing with kids, how you gonna pray for you? What type of joint is that? Come on, man, stop playing. You ain't putting down my God, bro. I'm not putting
down your God. I'm putting down
my God.
Idea. I'm not putting down your God. I'm not.
It's like from your angle, it's like it's nobody's perfect, bro.
Nobody's
perfect.
No,
so
from my angle,
they're striving to be like God.
From my angle, nobody is perfect. Correct. But y'all put so much emphasis in church, like
it's not in church. We're not putting emphasis in church.
Then what are you doing?
We're putting emphasis in
the spirit,
into God and the Bible,
God, right?
That's what we putting in.
So the fables that you read is what you're putting energy and stock into.
No.
It's just like you writing a book. If you're writing a book and you want people to read it and feel it, right?
Okay.
That's what you want, right?
I mean, they all fables.
But I'm saying, is that what you want, right?
But it's all fables. Show me a story in the Bible that's right. Because
I don't know because I wasn't living there.
There's nobody around.
There's excerpts in the Bible that they have taken out.
Do you think there's some truth in there?
Yeah.
All right then.
There is a chapter that talks about giants and talk about giants having sex with humans and talk. Yeah, it's talking about all that.
The Book of Enoch, the book that they took out the Bible.
Yes, the Book of Enoch that they took out the Bible.
It's in the Ethiopian Bible. It's not in the King James.
There are books in the Bible that they have removed purposely.
But that's man doing. That's not the church doing. That's not all the churches doing. Who
authorized it? The church controls the Bible.
I don't think the church control the Bible, bro.
Look.
Bro,
you say they don't control. They don't control. How can they control the Bible? The Bible is a book. They don't control it. Say it again.
That was man-made. So why do you believe in it?
That was man-made.
It was man-made. It was man wrote. Yes, it was man wrote.
Look, there are different Bibles, though. There are Bibles that are older than the King James Bible.
There is.
That come from the motherland, bro. Like you gonna say that they making up tales and stuff.
And thank you for saying that. Let's be honest. All that is just doctorate from Africa. That's all it is just copy from Africa. Shoot, the Asian culture has been in existence long before Catholics, bro.
Look,
no. Look, y'all are worshiping a man-made gospel. I've done my research, bro.
You done the wrong research.
The Jesus being black thing that the Pope revealed, you think that's wrong?
No, I think that's true.
So if Jesus is true, but you against church,
I'm not. What I'm saying is I believe that Jesus was black. But I think that it was some things that was exaggerated. Did he leave and go over to Asia, learn Buddhism, and come back? That's a possibility.
Is it important to know his story and who he is?
It is a story. Yeah, it's good to know history. It's good to know historical facts.
Absolutely.
So if you know historical facts, then you understand that the Asian community, the Asian empire, has been long in existence prior to the Catholic Church and everything.
Do you think the Asians came from Africans?
Everybody came from Africa.
Okay.
Everybody came from Africa and spread it out and start to get those different textures and colors based on the regions that they were in.
Right.
Because if you actually look at it based on scientific notion, every landmass in every last man in the world was connected, and they called it Pangea.
Right.
That was the ultimate landmass, and then as the landmasses started to move away from each other, that's how you started to get the different color people.
I believe that to be a theory.
Look,
instead of actual fact. But that's just me.
That's the Bible don't talk about dinosaurs, but we come across dinosaur bones that preceded the Bible.
There's a lot of things in books that are fact and fiction, bro. You know, you gotta be discretionary. Honestly.
The Bible is fiction.
You gotta be discretionary.
There's no facts.
I'm gonna put it to you like this. I'm gonna be 100 with both of y'all.
Hold on. Jesus rose from the dead, but Jesus rose from the dead from a whole catacomb. There's no bones, and it's just. Bro,
I am not 100% known about the Bible. I'm not 100% sure about the church. I'm not 100% sure about anything.
But you defending it like you are, though.
But what I am going to say is I have a belief that I do believe God is real.
I do believe spiritual or Christian.
I do believe the devil is real. Can I finish? Can I finish?
Catholic?
I do believe the devil is real. So with that being said, I'm gonna let you go ahead and go to hell. And I'm gonna let you.
That sounds just like a Christian.
No,
that sounds just like a Christian. You're always damning somebody.
I didn't damn you.
You did. You said you can go to.
I didn't say you can go to hell. I said I'm gonna let you go to hell.
That's damning. Did you? Let me ask y'all this. Let me ask y'all this. Did y'all know that there's a devil Bible?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. I definitely knew that.
That's why I said there's good and there's evil, bro. You know
I got it.
I know. I'm asking. I said, do you got it?
No, I ain't got it.
Why you look at me like that?
But I did a research on it.
Did you read it?
How can I read it, bro? It's in a whole nother country.
It's
locked up.
I mean, I figured it was online. I mean, everything else online.
I'm y'all pour me another shot.
Shit. Everything else online. I mean,
look, y'all ain't about to both team up on me because I can handle this.
I'm just saying.
I can handle the beef, bro. Like what it do?
Next question, bro.
No beef here, bro.
Boy,
it's all love. It's all love, man.
I can handle the debate now.
Let's go. Church, boy. I tell you.
You know, since we own this,
this
2 versus 1.
Let's go to something.
Why do you feel it's okay to put another man down?
Because his fucking beliefs? No, I'm just joking. Just
because he make more money than you.
That's a debate for the ages. The last one.
But yeah, that's a for sure.
You see how they trying to come after me?
Now you say what now? Your little man was like, hey.
Right, yeah.
Like, hold on,
God. I got you, Dad.
Right, no, I feel it though.
All I'm asking is why do men feel it's okay to put down another man just because he makes more money?
Because he's weak. He a punk. That's why. He's a sucker.
I ain't never put down.
Does he have the right to?
I ain't never put down another guy because they make less money.
Why does he have the right to put down another man because he make more money? What's the point of that?
Because they could have had the same achievement if they just did make
the
right financial decisions.
Say if they bump heads.
Mm-hmm.
Whether it's over a woman or an endeavor or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
If one man feels that he's superior to the other man in anything, you said financially, and they're bumping heads for a certain goal or for something, they both got something in their sights. Is it not wrong for that man to feel to assert his dominance?
To disrespect him? Yes.
I ain't gonna say disrespect.
That's not. If I assert my dominance over you, that's not disrespecting you. Yeah. That's disrespect. I'm gonna feel some type of way, and I got nothing to lose. You have everything to lose. So if you have more money than me and you coming at me the wrong way, what do you think my response gonna be? Because I might not have had the same upbringing than you.
Some men don't. Some men shrink in those situations because they know they inadequate or they not up to the.
Then that's I hate to say it, but that's a weak-minded man.
Yeah.
So let me ask y'all this: do you think that there is a such thing as a alpha and a beta male? Now they have come out with different tiers. They got the alpha male, the beta male, the delta male, and all that stuff like that.
Now, a question to that.
Okay.
The reason for that is what?
There are different categories of men.
I mean, okay, I agree. But the reason for that alpha, beta, and all that is for what? to say
Women
he
maybe.
beneath me?
Women maybe to try and get them to differentiate.
That's just another way to break us up, break us down. You know what I'm saying? So if I have 10 women, 5 cars, money, you have 3 women, 1 car, and a little bit of bread, I'm better than you now? Is that what it is? So I can come to your house and basically smack you in your face, and you not supposed to be able to do nothing?
Nah, I ain't.
I ain't.
But
I don't think that should happen.
But am I better than you though? That's the question here.
I don't think you're. If I make more money than you, I don't think I'm better than you. I just think I have more of a head start or more of a.
What if you just
village.
made better decisions?
That don't mean I'm better than you. How does that mean I'm better than you? Because I made better decisions.
What is better than you? What is
exactly.
What is the definition of that?
It shouldn't be one. That's what I'm saying. Because that night I went out and had sex with a female. Is a night you stay at home and took a test.
Right.
You made a better decision than I made. That don't mean you're better than me. That just means you made a better decision. That night I stayed home and took a test. You went out and made a little bit of money at your father's whatever. That don't mean you better than me. That mean you had more help than I got.
I like that angle. I like that.
I was raised in a one parent household. You was married. You was raised in a marriage.
Yeah, that's a big one right there. Yeah, that's a big
with
one.
Uncles that got money.
Yeah, resources.
Yeah, you're not better than me because of money, or you're not better than me. Period. Mm-hmm. You just had better options, and you made wiser decisions because you had the leadership that's showing you.
Yeah, at the
you know
time,
what I'm saying?
Yeah. Some people just don't know. If you know better, you do better. Like that's 100%. Like one of the biggest mottos of my life.
100%. So if I got more money than the person, I'm not about to be like, oh yeah, you want this, bro? Yeah, we can get it. I got you, bro. And then look at him like, man, you can't do nothing. If I'm gonna break bread with you, I'm gonna break bread with you. We good.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna look down on you like, man, this broke guy, man. Hey, y'all, look, I just bought him a bottle for no, you know what I'm saying? Just because.
The thing is, it's way more people like that than it should be.
That's a fact, bro. That's but once again, where do y'all think mental health come from? When everybody that's really messed up, that's where they come from.
Yeah.
No money, no resources, and then you got that guy that's supposed to be your partner making money. Oh man, here go $5, man. Throwing it to him, throwing it on the ground.
Oh yeah,
looking at him like he ain't shit. That's not.
Man, got a story about that one.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah,
that's disrespectful. If you're a man, I'm gonna treat you like a man until you show me you're
otherwise.
Yeah, you feel me?
Otherwise, yeah.
I can't. I'm not gonna disrespect you, but if you show me you're weak-minded or you're weak, period. Okay, I know how to deal with you. You know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna disrespect you, but I know how to deal with you.
Yeah.
I'm not that type of person.
Hey, some dudes blatant with the disrespect,
bro. What?
I'm gonna disagree with you.
Oh,
so
he
gonna disagree. He gonna disagree with me, of course. Of course, it's not. I mean, I know it is. You know,
this is why I say that. It's because I'll be the first one to try to pull somebody up, get them resources, help them out.
Mm-hmm.
You know, show them the ropes. Like, hey, do this. I'll even go and get my last. Like, matter of fact, I'll tell y'all a little story. You know, I knew a guy that went to an interview, and I was like, and you know, they wasn't dressed appropriately for the interview because it was a governmental interview. So I was like, you know, all right. So when I talked to them afterwards, you know, they told me what they wore, and I was like, well, why didn't you tell me, bro? I would have bought you a suit just so you can get the interview, because I know as being an HR recruiter and recruiting people, I knew what to look for when you go to an interview.
Right.
I know what questions you need to ask.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I know what the appearance look. I know what I look for because I'm very strict. So I already know that if I'm strict on what appearance is and what the questions are, it can't be nobody stricter than I am when it comes to interviews. So I was like, you know what? I would have bought you a suit had you told me you didn't have a suit. I would have bought you a suit.
But that goes back to another man asking. That goes back to a man asking another man to almost take care of him like daddy.
But they didn't even have to ask though. You see what I'm saying? If you're,
he had to ask because you didn't know what he had.
True. If
he would have
had I known and asked the right questions, I'm like, you know what? I got you. Let me go ahead and copy your suit so you can go ahead and get this job because I want to see you succeed.
Mm-hmm.
But if you make the choice that you don't want to succeed, I'm gonna be honest with you. I can't even have you in my circle.
Well, what if he was? That's all he could come up with at the time.
I was just about to say that.
And he didn't want to ask anybody for help because sometimes when you ask people for help, it's conditional.
But guess
Facts.
what? But
that's
guess what?
A fact.
But guess what? Name me one person that has gotten ahead without asking for help from his fellow brothers.
I mean,
asking for help,
asking for help because as men,
receiving help is different, but asking for it is another thing.
But as men, yes, I would agree that we don't ask for help. As men, we don't ask for help because we think we can take it all ourselves. But if you humble yourself and be like, you know what, in this situation, I need a little bit of assistance.
But I understand what you're saying,
especially when it's offered. I offer a lot of resources in many cases, and had I known the person to have a suit, I'd be like, look, let's go to K&G. I get you a quick little suit. That ain't nothing. That's an easy one. That's an easy 150.
I understand what you're saying, but
that's an easy 150.
I understand what you're saying.
Most people don't have that to spend, bro.
Yeah. That's a fact. But I understand what you're saying. But at the same time, if I'm going for an interview and I know that you have the access to do that, but in my mind, I didn't ask other people, and it was with a condition. It's gonna be the same thing with you. It's not because you come off like that. It's just what I've been through, man.
Yeah, it's what I experienced.
And it's what I've been through.
Yeah.
So it's
not traumatic.
It's hell. You know what I'm saying?
And I'll be 100. There's never a condition with me because
I mean, you
know what? The only condition is your success. That's the only condition.
But that's with you.
Yeah,
how many people? How many people?
Unique person, bro. Like,
how many people he done been through that was like, oh yeah, I'll get you that suit, man. Got him the suit. Hey man, I need you to run this here, or I need you to do this. Hey man, I can't. I bought you that suit, bro.
Yeah,
I got you that
money
job.
Right back.
That job you got right now that you going to, I helped you do that. That's how they doing like that.
Sit there, tell the internet.
I get it.
Drag you through the bud.
Yeah.
You know?
But there are some selfless people out there. Like, look, bro, I'll look out for you.
They hard to come by.
Hey, you know what? I found them people in church. I ain't gonna lie to you. Or they was Christians. I ain't gonna lie to you, bro. Most of the people that
he just being honest, bro.
I'm just saying, bro.
I ain't either.
but you got to realize when these people out here grinding or trying to get it, they run across the wrong people.
Yeah, for sure.
They run across them savages and do them dirty.
Because I can
both sides, do each other dirty.
Because I can tell you right now, on a road to being a millionaire, you're not going to get to being a millionaire relying on your own strength. You got to have connections. You got to have pull. You got to make phone calls to get to that $1 million status. And you got to humble yourself to even ask, like, hey, I got this project. Do you want to invest? I got this going on. Do you think you could contribute? You ain't going to be able to get all that money on your own. If you had to put $500,000 towards a project, but all you got is $50,000, and you still thinking, well, I'm gonna try to get it on my own, that ain't gonna get you the project.
It could happen. I mean, investments. Yeah. You don't necessarily have to talk to nobody for that.
Man, you definitely gotta talk to somebody.
But at the same time, you got $50,000. You already at a hell of a start than the person that's got better ideas with 2 pennies to rub together and nothing to eat.
Facts.
You know what I'm saying? So it's hard to say that any of them right or wrong, because you never know what they're going through, who they got trying to back them or trying to help them.
Yeah.
Because you never know their motive. And I hate that with men because if I'm asking you for something, you know me. If I gotta ask you more than twice, I'm ready to whoop your ass. I'm not even gonna lie. I'm dead ass. Look. If I'm asking for something, let's say, hey, you wanna go to the bar, and you don't respond. Okay, I'll give you a couple hours. Yo, what's up? You want to hit that bar or what? Now at this point, I'm agitated.
Yeah,
because I didn't ask you more than once. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Jeff ain't got no patience.
So I mean, most people don't. You know?
But the next day, and you call me and try to kick it to me like it ain't nothing happened, bro. Why you ain't? As soon as I answer the phone, bro, why you ain't answer my text? Oh man, I was doing this. So it took you almost 24 hours, bro. I am agitated, so I'm going in. You know what I'm saying? So I said that to say, I don't know. I forgot.
Oh my God.
Damn. No, I'm bullshitting. I said that to say it's hard for a person to ask for something when they know a person reading it and don't respond. You know what I'm saying?
Mm.
If I send you a text or if I call you and ask you for something, that means I really need it. For you not to respond or for you to blow me off like, oh, give me a second and I'll call you right back. And you don't call me back within 2 or 3 days and you still ain't call me back,
man,
that is a devastating blow to that person's manhood because he already was grinding up to asking anyway.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
That's why we don't call or say nothing because we don't know what you're going through.
Facts.
You know what I'm saying? You might be going through something tough. And the time I call, you might spaz out on me. And I'm sitting here like...
And now I'm messed up. Yeah. I was already messed up calling you to ask.
Exactly. And now I'm even more messed up because you just spaz out on me and you the calm one.
And most of us black people, we got problems going on. You know what I'm saying? Whether it's just family, financial, we born with a lot of things going on.
That's 100%.
So
we born in debt.
Exactly. So
man, so we didn't even get to a lot of the questions. We only got like 2 questions because y'all wanted to argue about church. So
that's you, man.
Hate me. So look, so now we at that point where we do that little wrap up and everything and say what's on your mind. Hey, at this point, y'all can say whatever y'all want to say. I'm gonna allow it. Minus the cursing, Jeff. So Brian, this your second time on. I'm not gonna throw you under the bus. So, but I'm gonna throw it over to Jeff.
Me? Okay.
Yeah, go ahead. Do your wrap up.
You ready? All right. I think all this some bullshit. You know what I'm saying? I do. I promise you, I do. Man, mental health is, I think, should be top priority besides women. You know what I'm saying? Because women keep the house together. But the fucking man keeps the house running, period. You know what I'm saying? If he don't go out here and get the money, if he don't go out here and make her happy or whatever. Now, that's another thing. What is wrong with making your woman happy? What is wrong with making your woman smile? What's wrong with a good relationship? I have a great relationship. I tell people in my job, oh, you just think you sunshine and fuck yeah, because I don't have to go through that shit you go through. I don't have to worry about my wife cheating. I don't have to worry about her coming in at 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning. And you're mad because I don't have to worry about that shit? I think everybody... Ain't that shit crazy?
Do better.
I think everybody should take a step back, breathe, and reevaluate their situations because they're worth more than what they're letting on. Fuck that. I'm out.
Appreciate my guy. I appreciate that.
Oh, you said minus the cussing. I'm out.
Brian,
I was just piggybacking off of what he said.
Bro? My dog.
I mean, I ain't gonna say I think it's all bullshit, but I definitely do agree that men's mental health is important because we are the foundation, and the more that you build him up, the more he can build you up. You know what I'm saying? And because we are capable of so much, we need to be able to not only do that introspective, like Jeff said, we gotta be able to look inside and heal ourselves, and then be able to heal outwards, to the fam or friends or whatever the case may be. But we got to look for fulfillment inside ourselves, whatever that fulfillment may come from. Hopefully, it's something positive. But we just got to be able to help each other, be willing to help each other. I mean, shoot. I feel like we are willing to help each other, but only to a certain point, only to a certain extent, and it just need to be more willingness to help. But we got to be able to hold ourselves accountable and hold each other accountable as well. I mean, just all the real stuff, man. Like Jeff said, take a time out. A time out for the BS. Time out for the BS. We done been on BS for too long. You know what I'm saying? So time out for the BS, and do that. Love yourself. Care for yourself, and try to heal yourself first. That way you can love, care, and heal the community or whoever else you care about.
Facts. That's great. That's great. That's great right there for
Appreciate
real,
it, bro.
Man, y'all had some good words, man.
Come to atheists. I mean, let's go, M.
Get it.
I'm gonna stop calling you that, bro. I'm gonna stop calling you that.
Whatever. No, you won't. Your whole family called me that. So first thing I want to say is I'm not atheist. Okay.
He's not.
Guy. I appreciate it.
I just question everything because I'm a seeker of knowledge. That's all it is. I'm a seeker of knowledge.
Ain't mad at it.
So first thing I want to say is that, to the gentleman that's here, man, I love y'all because, as brothers, we don't say it enough, and we definitely gotta say that we love our brothers, bro. That we care for y'all, and I want to see each of you succeed.
I'm still not there, so for sure.
to all the men that's out there, that's fathers, that's struggling, I love y'all too. I want to see y'all succeed. This whole podcast is dedicated to a man achieving and giving y'all the tools to succeed.
Right.
It's also to give y'all some comedy, some laughter, and everything. So when we have these conversations, yes, we have a good time and we laugh and everything, but there is a underlying issue that we all need to solve, is that mental health for man is definitely something that is not recognized, and it's starting to come to the forefront. And we have a lot of pressure on us, especially as Black men. When we walk out the door, we got a lot of pressure on us. When we in relationships, there's a lot of pressure on us. When we go to work, there's a lot of pressure on us because we have to provide. We have to do a lot of things that our counterparts, and when I say counterparts, I mean like other cultures and races don't really have to go through. You don't have to go through, have to be scared of the police and get horrendous demands to put your hands out of the window because they're fearful of what they seen in social media. They're fearful for what they seen in the movies, thinking that you're just another drug dealer when you're not a drug dealer, thinking that you got a gun in the car when you don't have a gun in the car, and they assume that you got a gun in the car because the only thing on their mind is that they just want to kill you. They just want to put you in the dirt, and it's just a act of consistent daily genocide every day that you wake up and you not only fearful for yourself, but if you got a son, you fearful for your son. When you have a daughter, you're fearful that she's going to get abused or she's going to get raped either by another culture or by somebody in her own culture. And what do you do as a parent when you hear that? Do you abide by the law and then abide a law-abiding citizen? Or do you be that person that take into their hands and then you end up in jail like everyone else?
Fuck it, I'm in jail.
There is steps and there is processes to everything that we do, and we have to tiptoe around other people. We have to tiptoe through the law. We have to tiptoe around other cultures because when we be ourselves, they love to adopt it, but they don't want to adopt the struggle that we had to go through. They want to oppress or suppress the struggles that we've been through. They want to act like slavery didn't happen, and even for our Black queens out there, when we try to mold and build relationships, we are still painted in such a derogatory way. Not just ourselves as men, but women, but the Black women as well are painted in derogatory ways, would make it difficult to have relationships. So when this podcast was built, it was built on the strength of positivity and optimism, that we could all come together and find some understanding, and we can kind of iron out these wrinkles to have successful relationships, brotherhoods, and everything with our fellow man, and bring each other up. Stop adopting the mindset of crabs in a barrel, and start building each other up. We don't need to gatekeep information from each other, but we need to start presenting information from each other so we can all come up and be millionaires. Don't fall into that mindset and that statistic that you are only a number, that you are only can go so far as who you are, because there are people that have beat the numbers and have become more, have become greater. There are great fathers out there. There are great mentors out there that are Black. Don't just think that just because in your circle you see such derogatory and negative means that every Black person is like that, because that is not the truth. It is more of them that are out there that do great things, that are providing societal means and achieving in ways that they're willing to pass that knowledge down. And I need everybody to be one of them.
Right.
Be one of those Black people that's going to uplift society. Yes, we are at war, but that doesn't mean that we should not be concerned with what's happening. Facts. And I think that being concerned with what's happening allows us to be prepared for the next action or the next event or the next situation that's going to happen that may be detriment to the economy, that may be detriment to the society, it may be detriment to the culture. Yes, yeah. While the war is going on, hey, go out there and dance and stuff like that, but don't forget to keep your ear to the ground, because you know the devil is always working. Taking something from Jeff Book and Brian Book.
Look at him.
Look at him.
You
know the devil is working. And if you feel like you need to get down and pray, do you feel like you need to get down and you need to meditate? Do you feel you need to get down and get grounded with the earth and get grounded with nature, whatever your belief and your understanding is? Yes, you need to go out there and do it, because right now is the time that we all need some level of grounding so we can weather the storms that we in. Thank you to Jeff.
I also want to say, like you were saying, like for a person that for a person that's in a position to help, be the one that wants to help the person out, and then for the person that needs help, be that person that
need to reach out.
Right. Don't be afraid to ask for help, and at the same time, be that person that if somebody wants to help you, be that person that you like. You know what? I want to help that person out because I can see they trying. You know what I'm saying? Be that person.
Facts.
If you believe in karma, every good deed that you put out there returns back with you. Hey, I want to thank the panel for coming up here, Brian. Thank you for coming on here and dealing with the shenanigans of me and Jeff, because we ain't got no sense.
Kicking with y'all all day.
He don't.
You know, we ain't got no.
I got great sense.
Not wearing red white, you don't.
Don't be a hater. Boy, I hate all the time.
Hey, we catch you on the next go around.
Peace.
Peace.